How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Anno 117 Pax Romana. I hope you're having a good one because I am so excited to be back. And I've been a tiny bit busy between this episode and the last one. I haven't done anything major. I moved some buildings around, and around these two new massive buildings that we have, I've done some detailing. You can kind of see some of it right here, but we'll take a bit of a look at it and then we'll get into what we're going to be doing today. We also have an offer of an alliance, which is very interesting. Allies in an alliance swear to fight side by side in any sort of war, no matter if you declare war or war is declared upon you. Alliance includes all the benefits of a trade treaty and non-aggression pact and blocks you from declaring war on each other. I'm going to accept this because it just seems like a really smart thing to do right now. I don't really feel like getting into any trouble necessarily, so that seems like a smart thing to do. Anyway, I think we also get to see everything that our alliance partner can see. That's interesting. Anyway, all of this detailing in here with the statues and the surfaces and the trees, it's just a little bit different to how it was. I think it looks a little bit better. And in terms of buildings that were moved out of here, basically this space is a little bit more open now because I decided to move a bunch of our concrete mixers to the other side of this area so that I can put more houses in here, which is exactly where I want to get started today. I want to bump the population just a little bit so that we can then sort of shift our focus ever so slightly towards getting fine, what am I looking for exactly? It's this right here. Fine glass for our tier 3 residents. That is exactly what we're looking for. So let's go ahead into construction. Let's get some paved roads and let's do a little something right here so that these guys have road access. And for the rest of it, do we want to do road access? I think we're just going to do a little bit of grass in there just to sort of make the place look a little bit nicer. We can go in with some olive trees if we really want to, which we don't necessarily need to, but I think a couple of trees in here will look pretty decent. A little something like that is probably totally fine. Some of these guys can certainly get upgraded as well. Definitely not against doing that. But at the very least, this is going to give us a bit more knowledge, which is kind of fantastic. I'm also thinking that this space here would be pretty good for some more houses so that we can fill out a little bit of that space and we can do a little something there as well. And then of course, go through with another road. So right through here should keep them nice and happy. We do have a little bit of unhappiness on the island, which is to be expected, but we will absolutely deal with that. As for these corners, I could pave them. I think paving them would kind of make sense. I like the idea that a lot of this space is paved, so those corners can be paved. Out here, I'm a little bit less concerned about it. In here, I think that's going to be paved just because it looks better. And I think down here is probably fine as well. This can just be a bunch of grass, I think, just to make the area look a little bit neater and a little bit more tidy. And honestly, I'm okay with that. Although a statue in here might look kind of neat, to be honest. I think just something like, it doesn't really go central though, does it? Why do we want this statue to be? I want to say there is going to be totally fine for a statue. Maybe with a little something like this around it, just to make the area look a little bit more decorated. I think I'm okay with that. I think that looks okay. Can we upgrade some of these guys? We totally can. Do we need to upgrade some of these guys? Not really. But I think it would make sense that at least some of these guys are slightly fancier given the building that they're right next to. And then down this way, we're probably okay. We don't really need to go too crazy with this right now. I just wanted that extra bit of population. And I'm also wondering if I could maybe get them a little bit more happiness in here. Are they covered by policing? They absolutely are. They are not. No, they are covered by watchtowers as well. You know, I think they're fine. Happiness is not good, but I really don't feel like spending forever focusing on happiness today. I really want to do, well, I want to do two things. I want to get these writing tablets and I want to get the the fine glass. So we need to go over to right here, Capitolini, and we need to figure out exactly how we're going to make this work. So I think we'll start, I suppose, with the Sandrite nurseries. We don't have the concrete needed for this though, which slightly complicates things. So maybe what we actually do is go back over here. Oh, we're a little bit low on workers here as well. That's problematic. Okay, let's get ourselves, I want to say, another little civilian ship because it's nice and quick to build. And while that's going on, we can make some upgrades here to make sure that we don't have population problems. Let's go for, who's getting upgraded? I want to say you guys get a nice upgrade right there. That seems like a sensible spot. I want to say you guys can get upgraded as well, just because, again, I think it kind of makes sense to have fancier buildings around fancier buildings. Over this way, maybe sort of the same story. Upgrade you, upgrade you. I think that looks pretty cool. I do. I like that a lot, actually. That's really pretty good. Let's upgrade you as well, just to make sure we have an excess of tier 3 workers, especially since we are going to be going to tier 4 at some point. Obviously, they're going to be wanting more things, and the general shortage of things for them is going to make them unhappy, but that's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we're trying to work on. Now, I suppose a little something that we can do here in Capitolini while we're waiting on our new boat is start planning where all of these things are going to go. Now, when it comes to the apiary, we also happen to need a little bit of concrete, which I don't necessarily love. But if we have a look at my chart, at my spreadsheet, according to the numbers, it is 3 apiaries, 6 nurseries, and then 8 of these guys, which is kind of wild, actually. Although admittedly, these guys do provide knowledge in a given area, which is very exciting. So I think what we do is I think we build both the nurseries and the apiaries right here. And then I think we build the tabulae over on the main island. So to do that, if we look at the numbers, then it is going to be, we'll start with the apiaries because we need fewer of these. We need 3 of them. Now, we have a really good amount of space over here. I think this is kind of where I want to build them because it's relatively open and that kind of works for me. We have a couple of mountain spots up here that could be good for our minerals at some point, but for now, let's just see what we can do. I want to get this as close to the water as I can. So I'm thinking, well, I know we can go a bit closer, but I'm thinking about here so we have a little bit of excess because I'm going to have to bring this road straight through, and that is going to interrupt that guy. Can this go straight? No, that can't go straight across. That's fine. So this can go here. If we go back in, is it going to interrupt the other one? It's kind of hard to tell because it's not been built yet. Okay. Do we have that new ship? We absolutely do. You are going to be bringing concrete over to that new island. Well, not new island, but you know what I mean. So you're going from, that's Albion. I want to go from Latium. I want to go from here over to Capitolini, and you are going to be loading up on some concrete, and you are going to be unloading the concrete right there. This boat can also be used to bring some stuff back at some point. So putting a bigger boat on that route might actually be a really good idea. We also had a fire up here, I think. Was it up here that we had that fire? I think it might already have been put out, which is fantastic news. As long as we're not seeing too many issues up here, I'm relatively happy with it. Now here we go. We have some concrete out here in Capitolini, which is fantastic news. Let's get you built and let's figure out just how many of these we're going to be able to get out here. So again, we're going to need 3 of them. I want them as close together as I can reasonably manage. So right about there is pretty solid. And then up this way, we want to go about there, I think, which again is pretty solid. So that gives us 3 apiaries, which is exactly what we needed. We also happen to need 6 of the Sandrite nurseries, which annoyingly, they're going to have to go out here just a little bit, which I guess is totally fine. Do these guys don't actually need anything though. They can just sort of be anywhere, which is kind of okay by me. So I think what we'll do is build a warehouse. I want to say right down at the end of this road is totally fine. Put some roads around it. And then for the Sandarite nurseries, we can sort of just stack these guys back here is what we can do. We can do a whole bunch of them because they're just buildings, right? They don't, oh, hold on a minute. No, they're not. They're farms. Ah. Oh, that changes things ever so slightly. Okay. Oh, you have a settlement request as well. Okay, this complicates things. Let's bring you, I want to say back to there, and that'll be fine for now. Let's bring, I guess, a road out of here, and it needs to sort of go straight across the front of this guy, which does matter. Oh, seriously? Okay, this needs to go back like one more little notch right here, right to about there should be fine. And now we can do something like this. We can connect them right there. And I'm really hoping that I can make this work. So it's 120. This is it 6 that way? It is 6 that way. Okay. So if it's 120, I would need to go 20 units back from this side. Man, we're gonna have some wild measurements with this, but I think the better thing to do here, just so these guys are nice and even, would actually be to just sort of space them this way. And then if we go into this building, this should be 20 tiles back-ish, I think. So right to about there is our 120. Now we needed 6 of these, which is just kind of wild. That's some serious numbers. But we should be able to do, so that's, oh, can I not put these right next to each other? Really? Why can I not do that? You know what? I'll just do it this way then. Hold on, give me that. And give me this. So that's, hold on a minute. Let's try that again. Give me, I really wish the construction thing would stop moving. Right there. And we'll just put all of these things at the back again. And I guess there we go. I do think this guy might need a bit of an upgrade just to make sure that it's able to run efficiently. But what we can do now is go back into our ships, and we're looking for, I think it's you. Wait, are you the one I'm looking for? You know what? It doesn't matter. Let me have a look at my trade routes. So we're looking at you, the concrete to Capitolini one. So we can now set this boat up in Capitolini to have, I guess, the Sandorak stuff. So this is going to be loaded onto it, which is what I'm looking for. Apparently I can't do. There we go. And we also want to load it up with the honeycomb. So that is going to get unloaded back in the main city, which is fantastic. That's what we're looking for. We do have this guy going to Capitolini as well. What are you doing? So you're picking up lavender. Okay, that's fine. We're not going to mess with you. We could probably do with putting more boats on. Wait a minute. Are you seriously in here attacking? Okay. I have noticed that he is getting around my blockade. I might just build another couple of lines of ships. Because if I was to put a line of ships over this way to basically block him from going up past my island, and put another one down here between this currently unoccupied island and the edge of the map, I could block him into that corner and it could be kind of amazing. I'm very, very tempted to do that. I'm not gonna lie. The Senate orders you to conduct a census of the rapidly expanding Lerna. Take care, Ere. The census determines the tribute and military service the families owe to Rome. Many will find it oppressive. Governors possess wide discretion in these matters. Being creative with your counting could increase your tribute. Using such dubious methods, though, risks damaging your reputation in Rome. Okay, so this will give me less prestige in Lerna, but it will improve my relationship with the Emperor. This will decrease productivity, which I don't want to do. This increases prestige, but reduces happiness. This will decrease income for 4 hours. I care more about the prestige, I think. Yeah, we'll do this. I want the reputation change with the Emperor. That's important to me. And I think for the most part, wait, what ship's under attack now? No, it's just, wait, real? Oh my God. We're really doing this?
People are friends with each other.
Can I turn you guys around to just Go for this guy. Is that an option we have here? It absolutely is. This is hopefully going to teach him a lesson. It looks like he's not backing down either, which I think is hilarious. We'll just finish you off is what we're going to do right there. Job done. Okay. So now you guys need to just line up in this channel again. There we go. That'll keep them nice and happy. You are not getting through there. You are absolutely not getting through there. That's not happening. Okay. So we have these boats going back and forth now, which is great news. I am thinking that this island in particular could probably use a trading pier, because I'm noticing a lot of the boats are kind of just chilling for the most part. I do like that I can theoretically build multiple of these. That is something I kind of like the idea of doing. So let's build... do I want to build it out here? Would this be kind of cool, or is this a little bit unnecessary? It's probably a little bit unnecessary to build this out here. But I really like the idea of having the trading pier right there. I mean, it's blocking a river, which isn't ideal, but I can also do this, which I think looks really neat. I really like the idea of having sort of this extended pier. I think it's kind of cool. I just do. It's kind of neat looking. We'll do this, I guess, and yeah, we'll just block that river. What that'll do at the very least is give us more room for boats to come in and trade, which is only going to be a good thing. We might want to do something like a repair crane out here as well, now that I think about it, because my boats do somewhat routinely get attacked coming through here. We could put it just right in this space, which could be very cool. This is admittedly... What about over there? Would that make more sense? I think that would make more sense. Yeah, it's not going to get everything though. A crane right in the middle, I think, makes a lot more sense. Or two of them. We do have the materials to build two of them. I think I'll build two of them. Why not? Just because we can, you know? We might as well. We're just blocking this entire river now. There we go. So that'll keep my ships nicely repaired, which is great news. We have you wanting a ceasefire, which we're going to decline. We have you wanting a ransom, which we're going to refuse. And you wanting an island. Just take it. Just take the island. I don't care what. It was this one down here. The previously unoccupied one that I was talking about. I'm not really too concerned about this. I have a bunch of islands in this region, so this is not really the end of the world. I think it's totally fine. Anyway, coming back to Nisus, we do now need to start working on writing tablets, tabuli, whatever they're called, tabulus, that doesn't matter. According to my chart, we're gonna need 8 of these things, which is a little bit ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. They're kind of cool looking buildings though. They'll fill in a lot of nice little spaces around here. So let's start sort of down in this corner, I guess. This seems like a decent little spot. Only 42 buildings being affected by this, but that will be plus 42 knowledge, which is pretty good. So we'll build one right there and immediately surround it with some roads because we can. We will build another. I would love one right in here. Just like right on this corner. Seems like the perfect spot for it. I don't know if it's going to be too big for that space. It absolutely is. So more buildings are going to need to go away. But that is totally fine. It can fit right there, which is 108 buildings. So that's a bunch more knowledge for me, which I definitely appreciate. I don't think I'm going to build 8 of these, if I'm completely honest. That seems a little bit silly. I'm going to build 4 just to begin with and see how things go. Oh, wow. We can cover so many buildings in here. We can cover so many buildings in here. My God. I like this as a spot for it. It doesn't cover as many buildings, but we will be building down this way, so eventually it will, and that'll be pretty good for us. Was that 4? That is 1, 2, 3. That is 4. We'll stick with the 4 is what we'll do. I'm not going to overdo it because I just want to make sure that we actually get these writing tablets, which we're not doing right now, but we should eventually do. We should have a supply of the wood, and we should have a supply of the honeycomb is what I'm thinking. We might need more ships at some point to run this, but I'm definitely curious and definitely excited to see if it works out. And then while that's going on, we can come back to Capitolini and we can start to maybe move some things around. So this woodcutter, for example, doesn't need to be down here anymore. This charcoal burner doesn't need to be down here either. So I'm going to move these around so I can basically use that space for other things. This woodcutter, for example, can sort of just live up this way as far as I'm concerned. Could I put another one right next to it? I somehow don't think I can, which is a little bit unfortunate, but we can bring this right back, I guess, to we'll go to about there. And I'm hoping I can do a little road up here, and that does interfere with the with this guy, which I don't love. So let's just move you along a little bit to right there. That gives us some decent coverage for the woodcutters. We don't really need another woodcutter out here, I realize, but I might as well just get that extra one. Do we have other woodcutters up here? We do. We have this one. Again, don't really need it as far as I'm concerned. Let's take out this road, and I think we'll take out you as well. We'll just have my woodcutters out that way. This, I guess, charcoal burner can also move out to this space, hopefully. Is that an option? It not really is the answer to that question. It's not really an option. Although I can kind of move it into, no, it's gonna mess with my is it gonna mess with my honeycomb? I don't know if it is. I don't know where I want to put this thing. I don't want to mess too much with the general happiness of the area. I could put it out here. Actually, right out here probably makes the most sense. So let's do a new warehouse right in that spot. We can sort of surround it like that. And then the charcoal burner, we just need to grab it. We need to bring it out here, line it up with where the road's going to be. And I'm just going to put it down by the water for now because it can be. We'll need to move it eventually if we expand onto this coastline, but for now, that's probably all right. We can go ahead and take out this road, and this road. And I think we can just do a bunch of houses in here because we are going to need to bring the population of this island up kind of considerably anyway, since we are going to be trying to get a bunch more productions going in here. So I think this just sort of makes sense that we expand the population ever so slightly. We can do that as well. I think it looks pretty cool. We can do something like this. They're not going to be thrilled living next to some of this industry, but they'll survive, hopefully. Definitely the idea is that they survive anyway. Let's surround all you guys with roads. You guys are going to get a double road, which I don't love, but that's okay. I don't love how that's looking either, so actually, I'm going to take out this entire extra part of this road, and we'll just sort of loop this around at the end here. And I think that's okay. That looks just fine. So that's definitely brought the population up, which is great. We should probably make a few little upgrades just to make sure that the plebeian workforce is where I want it to be. We'll upgrade you guys as well, just to make sure that we're good on that front. You want a ransom? I think not. I definitely don't think so. We also have a festival on Campania, which is going to be income and prestige. Sure, I'll pay for that. That's not a problem. Anyway, let's figure out this mineral quarry business. We have the materials needed for it. When it comes to fine glass, it suggests 3 mineral quarries, which is fine by me. We have room for 1, 2, and 3 here, which is kind of perfect. So 1, 2, and 3. We will have a warehouse connection for this one, which is perfectly good news. So we'll do a little road like this. These guys will need a warehouse connection, which we can totally manage with a little warehouse. I want to say up in there is kind of a cool spot, but we might have some productions that can live up there. So we'll do something like this. And then this needs to be connected to everything else that we have going on. So a bridge right there with something like that should be pretty good for us. That's kind of fantastic looking. Back in here, we do need the mineral crushers. We don't have the marble needed for this, but we can figure that out. We're going to need 4 of these. What is under attack? Hold on a minute. How is how and why? Are these guys, they are seriously like coming in here and causing all sorts of trouble. I don't appreciate that at all. We will figure that out though, it'll be fine. So when it comes to the mineral crushers, we apparently need 6 of these guys, and we will need marble for each of them. So let's do, I want to say 1, and do they match? I have no idea. We'll do 1 and 2 right there. We can do, I guess, the rest of them down here. This is kind of why I wanted a little warehouse out here, because it sort of covers everything we want to do with this. This also reduces health in the area, so having these guys kind of out here just sort of in their own space probably makes a lot of sense. Let's do this and this, so that's going to be the 4. I don't love that as a layout, but it's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. I would like to grab a ship to bring some good old, what's the word I'm looking for? Marble. That's the word I'm looking for. I want to bring some marble over here. So I think what we'll do is go into my ships. We'll grab my flagship as per usual, and we'll just use that to bring the marble over. We don't need that much, which is why we're not doing a trade route, and that should keep us pretty good. Now, looking into construction again, I think the only things we're producing here will be the pigments. I don't think we need to worry about the rest of it. So the sand refineries, getting 3 of these guys, I think we're going to do that back here on Nisus, which does mean we will probably end up with a massive abundance of sand, which is not exactly going to be ideal, but it should be okay. My thought process is basically we're going to have to try and really bring in massive deliveries of the pigments. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to hope that it does. Is basically where I'm at with this. Now, needing 3 of these guys, I could sort of stack them so that they just come straight out. That could be kind of cool. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but I'm kind of thinking like 1, can I rotate you out here? I totally can. 2 and 3. So we have these guys out here. It's kind of like they're, you know, dredging the land or whatever. It looks a bit weird. It does, but I'm sort of okay with it. I think it's fine. I would, while we're here, like to maybe do another trading pier. I think that could be kind of cool to have out here. I don't know if I want to put it there necessarily, but it's kind of a cool spot. We'll do a trading pier right there. These guys are complaining about no warehouses in range. Is that because do we need to do this? Or no, maybe not that. This, does that count as that does not count as a path. Can I do a path? Oh, I can. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, first off, get rid of you. Second off, give me this right here. I like that a lot. I do. I want to upgrade all of this just because it's going to look that little bit better. Oh, there it is. We have the flagship coming in with all of the marble on board, which is fantastic news because it means I can head up this way and get these guys all built. So now we're going to be getting those pigments, which I absolutely adore. The flagship itself is going to need to go back to wherever it was. I don't remember. I think it was, I want to say here, probably. So we'll send it to there and send it to there. So it lines back up in the Blockade. And that should put us in a pretty good spot where we can now start moving the pigments back to the main island. Now, to do that, we're probably going to want another boat. Although what I'm considering is that now might be the time to get a slightly, well, admittedly slower boat, but with twice the cargo slots. It is going to take about 10 minutes to build, which isn't ideal, but what I can do is just have one single trade route with one boat, admittedly, that is going to... Ooh, we need to get more people. Okay, well, we can absolutely do that. Basically, just one single boat that is going to manage to bring everything that we need back to the main island. That's my thought process here. Ooh, what happened down here? This is a lot of trouble. I don't necessarily know how to feel about all that trouble that we had down here. That's not good, but It seems to have been sorted out, which is fine. Let's upgrade you while we're here. Let's upgrade you while we're here as well. And I love this. I really do love how this this looks. It's a little ridiculous, but it's pretty cool. Can I build like another trading thing here? I totally could if I wanted to. I'd be blocking a lot of this coastline, which isn't really ideal, but it would be kind of neat maybe to get more trading options in here, just to make sure that, you know, any of the ships coming by can I don't know. I don't think it's needed. I don't think we have enough ships coming through here. Although, I mean, we have a few. I don't think we have enough to really need to do that. Corruption is not tolerated in Rome, declares a ridiculous message from the exalted Gnaeus Firmius Calidius. Every tabularium will maintain rigorous records. To support this effort, the Imperial Court demands a supply of wax tablets or inscribed amphorae. So he wants 160 tons of writing tablets in the next 90 minutes. That's going to be tricky, but we're very close to having a defensive alliance with the Emperor, so we're going to try. I'm not convinced we can do it, but we're going to try. I've also got 1 point. I've just noticed how much money I have. I love that. Oh, that's amazing. Is my new boat done yet? It is very close to being done, which is fantastic news. So basically, we get this guy, we go into our trade routes, we assign this guy to that old trade route, and we start bringing pigment back with us from that island. So you are going to be going on to an existing trade route. We don't want to create a new trade route. We want to delete that. But what we want to do is go here and add this new boat to it, which is the Stewart. And that should keep us pretty good. I think what we can do is maybe remove this boat from the trade route. I think that's probably fair enough. And then on Capitolini, we are loading up on, oh man, we're loading up on not minerals, pigments is what we need to be loading up on. So if we can get those in here, that'll be pretty good for us. I doubt we're ever going to be loading up on that much, honestly. And I want to say we can probably stop moving the concrete out there. I don't think we need to be doing that anymore either, just because we kind of have enough, which also means that we could have stuck with the smaller boat is what is what this means. Let's, I guess, load up on some of this stuff. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to unload that here is what I want to do. So in Capitolini, we want to load up on this stuff right there. We want to unload it here. Let's swap this out for not this, but we want to load up on the honeycomb as well. Just because we can, we might as well sort of double it up. It doesn't matter if we're not actually going to manage to, wait, Nisus. No, we don't want to do that. We're going to load it down here. Pigments, and then we want to unload them back in Nisus, which is fine. Do I want the boat to wait? I probably don't. I think we're good. That's going to be our trade route, and that'll keep us in a pretty good spot. So that's going to let us bring the pigments back to Nisus. So if we look in here, we now need to go into the next steps of this thing. So the glass blower is going to be important, but we did get the sand refineries. We have them out here. The next step is going to be the glass smelter, which in this case, apparently we're going to need 6 of these guys, which is ridiculous. They are thankfully quite small buildings though. Wait a minute. Where do they need to go? Rivers. 6 of them on rivers? Oh my God. Right. Okay. This is going to complicate things. 1, 2. I don't like that it's going to hurt fire safety, but that's 3. I don't think I have enough river slots left on this island. We'll do 3 of them. There's no way we need 6 of them. I mean, there probably is every way that we need 6 of them. I'm not doing 6 of them. We don't have room for 6 of them. You are not connected to... I've got trees in there? Seriously? Okay. Let's get those out of there. We don't really need those right now. Let's go into construction and this and somehow, some way make this not look absolutely terrible, which I guess that's fine, I suppose. Sure. That's totally fine. Let's bring a little road kind of around here as well. I want this to also not look absolutely terrible. So something like that should be fine. You obviously don't have a warehouse connection, which isn't ideal. I could do a little bridge through there though, which I think could be kind of fun. So if I take that tree out and I do like just a little bridge, can I not do a little bridge right there? Seriously? I'm gonna have to move it down. Okay, let's get rid of you, is what we'll do. Can I do a bridge here? No, I don't have the concrete for it. But other than that, we can. So we'll do this because that actually does give us a warehouse connection, which is kind of amazing. And when I get the concrete, we can upgrade that bridge to not look terrible. Obviously, fire safety taking a bit of a hit right there, but I don't mind it too much. We're not doing 6 of those. We'll do 3 of those. Unless I put them on a different island, but we're not going to do that. We are going to need 4 charcoal burners, apparently. Which makes sense, because we need them for the glass smelters and also the glass blowers, of which we need 8. Somehow I doubt that we're going to get 8 of these. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 2 charcoal burners. And instead of 8 of these, I'm going to do, 3, 4. I don't know. We'll figure it out is what we're going to do. So if I place this guy here, that actually seems to be okay. Can I place another one here? Apparently. We're gonna do that. You're fine. Yeah, that's actually okay. That works out nicely. And then when it comes to the glass blowers, this is less fire safety, more prestige. Do I care about prestige in this island? Prestige in this island is actually okay. We're doing okay. So this is going to need concrete as well. Man, we need concrete for everything, and somehow, because I've been transferring it everywhere and sending it to all my different islands, we just have none left, which is not ideal, but we'll figure it out. This, I guess, could live up here. I don't know if prestige really matters in this space, but we'll do one there. We can do, I guess, one over here isn't going to hurt. 58 buildings getting a little bit more prestige seems reasonable. And can I get one over here anywhere? Doesn't really look like it. I can get one down here, actually, which I'm fine with. So right there is totally fine. We can stretch this through to here, which is great. And we just need to actually build it, which we've now done. So that should put us in a spot where here at some point in the hopefully not too distant future, we manage to get our hands on some fine glass, which will hopefully mean that my tier 3 residents can be upgraded to tier 4. Although in saying that, and I probably should have been honest about this a little bit earlier on, some of them are already ready to be upgraded to tier 4 because we're already providing writing tablets. So whether or not we provide fine glass is irrelevant because we're already able to upgrade them, which makes me very happy. I would like to provide the glass. That was sort of, you know, the whole point of what we've done over here. But yeah, we've had the ability to upgrade these guys for, well, a couple of minutes. We also happen to have 94 writing tablets in storage here. So given the fact that the Emperor is requesting 160 tons of those, I'm gonna get myself another, well, actually I do have a boat available, don't I? I have this little boat here. It can only carry 150 tons, and it's also carrying a bunch of concrete and honeycomb, but what we can do is offload the concrete and honeycomb. We can start loading up on those tablets, and we can hopefully, I guess, can I store all of this? Not really. That's fine. Let's just dump this, and we want to load up on writing tablets, basically, is my thinking. So 1, 2 right there. We'll get the 150. We'll make that delivery. We'll come back for the remaining 10. In fact, you know what? We'll not do that. We'll deliver what we have at the moment, and then go get the rest. And that should be fine. We should be able to do this. And I suppose while that's going on, it is time for the next tier of residents. What are we looking at right here? Oh, those are some beautiful buildings. Look at those. Oh, I love them. I love them. Those are incredible looking. What is this? Patricians. Patricians? That doesn't sound right. Okay. The Amphitheater. A place. Wow, this thing's 70,000. We actually almost have the. Oh my. Wait. Oh my God. We do not have the room for this. Wow. Okay. I mean, we do actually have the room for it. We might have to we might have to reconfigure a lot of our production. Good Lord. Okay. So what is this? What have we got right here? We have oysters with caviar, which is income, population, and health, and bird tongues in aspic, which is income, prestige, and less happiness. Interesting. What is this? This is going to be the temple, which is population and belief, and the library, which is +7 knowledge. Admittedly, fire safety goes down, but that's okay. The library needs a new material. It needs mosaics, and mosaics happen to need interesting. They also need pigments. That's really interesting. Okay. So we have everything we would need to make these, other than the refinery. So that's very tempting, actually, to just sort of build and see what happens. We won't have a very efficient production line for this, but we are bringing the pigments in from that other island, so I'm kind of inclined to say that we just try it out. I'm inclined to say that we just build this and we just hope for the best, really. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm gonna build it here, I think. So we get a little bit of a prestige bonus over this way, although we do have this corner, which it doesn't fit in. That's probably for the best. Ah, man. That amphitheater is huge. We'll build it here. That'll be fine. So that'll let us start making mosaics. It's gonna be a while before we get those, but we only need 5 for the library, which again, +7 knowledge, and that's across 300 and like, I'm gonna have to clear out some buildings like in here, but even in here, that's about 340 buildings getting all that knowledge bonus. If I build it down this way, we can get close to 400. We can actually get about 400 buildings if I put it in here. That is wild. I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about this. Anyway, let's go ahead and deliver at least some of what we need to deliver to the Emperor. We have a festival in Nisus for some bonus prestige. Don't mind if I do. We'll bring you back to collect hopefully the rest of the tablets that we're going to be needing. Oh man, I love this. I do. I'm slightly concerned about, I mean, we can't upgrade them any further, which is probably a good thing. If we can provide them, oh, they want so much. They really do. They also really want the amphitheater, which I don't know if we're gonna, I mean, we probably are gonna build, but that's a lot. We need oysters. Interesting. We need sturgeons. Okay, so we can build all of this except the oyster bed. This guy, this just can't be done in this province, which is kind of wild. That's fair enough. The cloaks, I don't know if we can do that currently. I mean, we can't, but I thought that was another province thing as well. Honestly, the library is about the only thing I care about, if I'm completely honest. The library is kind of a big deal. So I think I'm gonna try and get the library in here, which means obviously quite a few of these roads and buildings are gonna need to go away, but I think this is kind of the best spot for it because we can kind of make it look really good next to all these other giant buildings. So if we go right here, which is exactly where I'm thinking it should go, we can rotate it around like this. And I kind of want to get some roads on either side of it. I think that's kind of important. So that warehouse might need to move because I like it right there. Or do I like it right there? Does it matter? I don't know if it does. I mean, less fire safety. -2 fire safety across 334 buildings is going to be diabolical. Just to be clear. that's going to be really, really bad for us. But let's see. Where do I want to build this thing? I like that spot is what I like. This little glass blower is going to need to move around, is what it's going to need to do. So if I grab you, I can rotate you that way, which I guess is fine. Or I can put you over there. I think I'm just going to put you over there. I think that makes a bit more sense. And then in terms of roads, we surround it like this. We surround it like this. We can get a little bit of decoration around it here and there, which I think is totally fine. So take out this part of the road and go in with maybe something at an angle right there. This might actually need to be doubled up. Or I take out more. Yeah, I think I'm taking out more buildings. I didn't really do much detailing, well, just lately. So I kind of like the idea of doing a little bit here. I think that'll be totally fine. And then we can do a little something in this space is what we can do. Yeah, I think that's the way we go. In fact, this guy can move back into that space because I did end up moving it. These houses can go, this road can go, these houses can go, that tree can go, and that surface can go. Because my thinking is we try and put more residences in here, which we can totally do. And then we'll upgrade those guys. I know we did have residences in here already, but I may or may not have got, rid of some of them to make this place look a little better. And then around this, I'm just sort of thinking a bunch of grass. I think that'll be okay. We can do, I think, a bunch of trees. In fact, I kind of like the idea of going for something like this. Just to, yeah, I think I want to do this. Maybe some slightly smaller trees, though. I don't know that I love those. Those are a little too much. I think we just stick with the olive trees. I think those are pretty good in each of these corners. We'll do an olive tree right there as well. Do we have a midpoint here? I don't know that we do. So we'll just do something like this. And we'll do something like this over on this side. And that seems like it'll be okay. My thinking then is we just put some kind of mosaic thing underneath the bits where the trees are planted, just to change things up a little bit. I think this mosaic tile right here, and right here, and then right here as well, just because we can, just to sort of change it up, make it look a bit fancier, whatever it might be. It just, I think it just helps. It's not perfect, but it kind of looks the part, and I'm kind of okay. In fact, you know what? I don't love that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't actually love that. Let's just do a bunch of flagstone through here, because I think it's just going to look a little bit better. Oh, now this is interesting. There's a research in here that allows me to cut the cost of all ornaments in half. And then there's marble roads, which I don't know about you, but I want both of those. I do. I want both of those for sure, because that's just going to be kind of amazing is what that's going to be. I don't know if we're ever going to get around to putting marble roads anywhere, but if we do, definitely going to be in here. Also, we now have enough materials to build you, which looks amazing. That brought our knowledge to 13.8 thousand. Fire safety has shot down to negative 416, which, yeah, that checks out. That definitely checks out. Kind of expected that, to be completely honest with you. But at the very least, it's good for our research. We also have enough stuff to build this amphitheater foundation, which is, man, very tempting. Building an amphitheater, like getting rid of a lot of this space, like moving all this around into different places. Moving our lavender over here, for example, which we could probably sort of do, and turning this little chunk of land into like a super luxury amphitheater district. I'm so tempted to do that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very tempted. So I suppose now that we find ourselves in a pretty good spot here in Nisus, I would like to build more boats. I would like to get more warships is what I would like to get my hands on. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Now these guys, this one here is the Interceptor. This was the one that was built to be, I think, a bit faster than the others. Not too sure I need a bunch of those. Very tempted to go for the siege engine ship because I believe its range is going to be considerably higher, which might not be the worst idea in the world. So we might go for a couple of these. Maybe 2 siege engines would be an idea, and then 2 interceptors. We can only do 1 interceptor because we don't have the sails for it. But just getting a few more ships, and I think starting to figure out if we can really start to box in these raiders could be kind of fun. It looks like they've been sinking some ships up this way already, which I don't necessarily appreciate. What way is the wind blowing right now? It is not blowing in our favor at all. Yeah, he's taking down some boats right there. I don't appreciate that. Let's see if we can go for him. See if we can't maybe do something about this. I really, really don't appreciate that they're just sinking trading vessels behind my blockade. That's not exactly in the spirit of the blockade. The blockade's not working if this guy's routinely coming back here and causing trouble. So if we can do a little something about it, at least by taking down one of his boats here, that's going to be a good thing for us. And it definitely looks like that's going to be achievable, which is always good news. I do like to take down some raider boats from time to time. And any second now, this one should be... There we go. All right. This little boat, I'm going to let get away. I'm not really too concerned about it. What I'd like to do is maintain the blockade. So right across here, just to make sure that nothing's getting through. And honestly, these 3 new ships that we're building will probably be enough to block, I want to say, this chunk of land down here. If we look at the map, it doesn't look like there's a ton of space between this island. I mean, there's that much, which is probably not enough for 3 ships, but we're getting there, right? We're getting to the point where we're going to be able to do some good things. I'm also keenly aware that you have 3 shipyards down there. That's got me a little... Should I get more shipyards? I might want to get more shipyards. What is this festival right here? Augustia, income for bakeries. Sure, we'll pay for that. I don't have any problem with more income. That's always good as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I figure it's probably a good idea while we're building some ships to look into our production right now, because we're low on olives, we're low on grapes and lavender and all sorts of different things. We have a considerable demand for beer. I might import it just because I can. I think beer we're going to import. I think when it comes to soap, I might import that as well. Sardines, we can figure that out. So let's start with sardines because that is super low tier. It's super easy. It is just a case of building one of these guys and sort of calling it a day. So let's do exactly that. I mean, we could build them out here, actually, if we really wanted to, which I'm slightly tempted to do, if I'm honest with you, because we could build one right here and kind of just build a whole line of them with a path coming out to them, which is going to give us an excess of sardines, but I don't think an excess of sardines is going to be the worst idea in the world. We can just get ourselves a little stone path right here and do something like this, and that gives us a connection for the sardines. It also gives me room to build one of these guys, which I love the idea of doing. I think having some the ability to repair some ships out here seems like a really good idea. So we'll build that, and then I want to try and fill in a bit of this space. I think I can do all of this technically, so we can fill up that space with a harbor. We can bring this out here, and I want to just do like a little angled piece on that corner because I think that looks kind of cool. And that at least lets me repair ships and also get some extra sardines, which I think is very, very good news for us. Looking back into happiness now, the sardines problem will have gone away. It absolutely has. Amphore is a struggle. Clay is a struggle as well. So let's import clay because it's relatively cheap. I would say that we can just get more of it. Oh, we do have a river slot over here. Okay, actually, we're not going to import clay. We're just going to get more of it. Because I think we're using it for a lot of things, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we use it for the amphore. We use it for other things. This is actually going to be really, really good for us right here. Can I do a little bridge going like this? I totally can. Which is exactly what I'm going to do, because that gives me, hopefully, warehouse access for this guy. At least that's going to be the general idea. is that it gives me warehouse access for him. Can I get this to not look terrible? I'll bring this over, bring it down to there. That looks totally fine. So that should sort out the clay problem, which is only going to be good. I do need to make sure I'm paused when I'm looking at our productions though, so they stop fluctuating. That will eventually sort out the amphorite problem as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So if we include clay in here, resin as well is going to be tricky. Do I want to import resin? I think we do. I think all the things that we're bringing in from other islands, because we're making so much money, I think what we can do is go into raw materials, maybe agricultural stuff actually. So we have like 744 resin on this island apparently, which is ridiculous. We have a lot of grapes too. We don't have a lot of lavender. So I think what I'm going to do is we want to maintain a stock of lavender at like, say 400. So we're going to import lavender up until the point we have 400. That should keep us okay. We're a little bit low on oats. Not super worried about that right now. It's not really the end of the world, if I'm completely honest. If we look into island happiness again, it was beer and it was honeycomb that we're kind of lacking. Now we have to keep in mind we do produce honeycomb elsewhere. We do need to keep that in mind. Pigments as well, we're producing elsewhere. I think let's do beer and honeycomb. Just, again, we have a ton of it here, but we'll try to maintain a stock of honeycomb at like, I don't know, 500. Actually, no, maintaining it means we're going to sell it, right? So minimum stock is, yeah, let's just do 500 for the honeycomb. So we'll sell it sometimes, we'll buy it other times. Maybe minimum stock 700 just to be safe. So we're not selling or buying too much because we do have a ton of it. And then when it comes to things like beer, which we have a huge demand for, we want to maintain stock at like 250 because we just have none of it right now. And that'll sort of keep us nice and happy. Same with soap. We don't have a lot of that. So let's try and maintain a stock at 250 just to try and keep people happy. And I mean, we have garum. Are we producing that here? I don't remember. I think we are. Do we have a demand for that here? We do. We absolutely do. Let's try and maintain a stock of that as well, I suppose. So we'll go for maintain. We'll say maintain at, let's say 100, just to be safe on that. Sardines as well, I think we're fine with. I'm going to say these guys maintain at 100 as well. And we're going to spend some of the money that we have to try and deal with some of the problems that we're dealing with. And I guess, how much have you got on board right now? 57. Can I get you to grab any more? I totally can. That is more than enough. So let's get you down to here to turn in the rest of those writing tablets for the Emperor, which is going to be beautiful news. Do I have some new boats over here yet? I do not, because I've had the game paused while I'm looking at all of our stats, so that makes perfect sense. And I guess we're just gonna spend some money. We have 1.2 million denarii. I think we can get away with spending some money to deal with some of the issues that we're having around here, and we can hope that, you know, getting a bit more clay and getting a bit more resin, which it's wild to me that you don't have enough resin because we have so much of it on the island. That is a little bit concerning is what that is. This warehouse, let's upgrade you and let's see if that's maybe part of the problem. Maybe we're dealing with warehouses that are just being overloaded on the regular or something along those lines. I've really got no idea what's going on with the warehouses, but we can hope for the best that a little bit of an upgrade in there is going to help them along a bit. Oh, just on another note, I've just realized I can hold shift to upgrade all of a single building type if I really want to. Obviously, that could be slightly disastrous if I do that in the wrong building, but I could have just gone around and found a warehouse that needed upgraded and shift clicked on it to upgrade all of them. But it's good to know. It's gonna be good for other islands is what it's gonna be. Anyway, let's get you to drop off the rest of what we're doing here, which puts us in a good spot. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. This is good. Okay, so less cost to settle islands. Not really worried about that. I I'm very pleased that my reputation with the Emperor continues to improve. 91 is not bad. That is not bad at all. If we look at the reputation overview, I'm his favorite by quite a bit. If I could get that up to 100, that would be kind of huge. The defensive alliance with the Emperor is kind of a big deal. Can I give him a gift? Is that a thing we can do? I don't think it is, unfortunately. It would have been kind of nice if it was, but we're just gonna have to wait and do some work for him at some point. That's fine. So I've been thinking about this space out here again, because I'm looking at the Amphitheater Foundation again, and I realized that these are not lavender fields. These are, in fact, flax fields. I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna try and move these. When I say move them, I'm just gonna rebuild them, basically, because that's kind of just the easiest way to do it. I don't necessarily remember what flax is needed for, but I'm just gonna grab this guy and try to build it over here. At least one of them anyway. So if I put this guy here, 210 tiles of flax back here is pretty considerable. Can I fill up this whole space? I can fill up a lot of that space with flax. That is just ridiculous. It's not exactly what I was hoping to do. I was hoping to like, I might have to move a bunch of these farms along a little bit is what I might have to do here. Let's move you to here for now. Let's then do the extra parts of your field and see just how crazy we can go with this. So 210 is up to there. 201 is fine. This whole thing needs to be moved forward by just a tiny little bit to not there. I need to bring a road through. Did this guy, I forget that this guy always reminds you when you're playing for a while. Like, you've been playing for 2 hours, you loser. Have you considered touching grass, Ere? Thank you for that, Anno. I really appreciate those reminders. That's always makes me feel really good about myself. Have you considered touching grass, Ere? Is basically, it's genuinely how it feels. It's genuinely what that feels like. And there we go. We have these flax farms moved around a little bit. They don't have any water consumption, but that's totally fine. We've gotten rid of the originals over this way. We are gonna need to move these hemp farms though, which is gonna be doable, I suppose. I'm also thinking that these guys right here, can they? So I think they can actually live. No, they can't live next to farms. That's interesting. So this one right here is doing just fine. I am wary about taking over this coastline because this coastline could be used for something or other. But I think for the time being, we're just going to see what we can do in terms of moving some farms out here. So we have 2 flax farms, not flax farms. These are, what, hemp farms? So get rid of both of them. And if we go over this way, we have some hemp farms here already, which is fine. So we want to grab you. And I need to figure out where this is going to go. Now, these guys can have 90 crops at the back. So if we do something like this, this does sort of encroach in that territory, which I don't love. So let's do this. And let's do something like this. So that gives us 79. That gives us 86. And that gives us 90. Let's just do the 86. We're not going to max it out, but that's fine. I can deal with the 86. Rotate you around to there. We'll do the same thing over this way. So that gives us 86. We could do the 90 just on the side there, I guess. And the same thing over this way. We could do the little extra part just here so that we have both of those kind of nicely working, which is good. And again, that's helping us clear out a bit of this space over here. Now, the rest of this, I'm going to try and consolidate down onto this coastline is my thinking. So this warehouse is going to live, well, I'm going to have to probably double up some of this coastline as well. We have a bunch of materials though, so that is doable. Let's first off replace this because I think it needs to be stone just to look a little bit better. And then we're going to double this up so that I can hopefully put a bunch of buildings on here. This looks terrible. I'm not really too sure what's going on there, but that looks absolutely dreadful. Let's bring this all back and let's see if we can make that look a little bit less dreadful. If we bring this over to here, bring this over to here, still doesn't look great. I think it's because it's sort of clipping into the hill a little bit. So if we bring this back, can I do... Yeah, that looks a little better. It's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for the time being. We can also maybe get rid of some of this. I'm not too sure how good this is necessarily going to look, but can we do this and this? Yeah, that's okay. And then the extra bit kind of needs to go away. What is that? what is that bit? I didn't want... Okay. I didn't want rid of the building, but okay, that's fine. We'll just put that back. And apparently that's gonna... Okay. This bit of terrain is just not behaving at all. That's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and just start moving buildings around here. We'll get the warehouse into that corner. We're also going to upgrade the warehouse and surround it with some paved roads because I think that makes perfect sense. And then we'll start clearing out some of these guys. This is a woodcutter, if I'm not mistaken. That absolutely is. Can I move you to somewhere that's going to be a bit better for the time being? What about up here? That's okay. That will need to move at some point, but it's fine where it is for now. This sawmill, I want to put it basically... Ooh, we have a lot of space that we're going to need to figure out down here. Interesting. I hadn't thought about all of that. I'm going to be honest. So we're going to need to bring this across and then surround the sawmill in some roads like that, which is totally fine, and get rid of some more of these roads. Now, when it comes to policing in here, can I get this guy in this corner? I totally can, which I kind of like the look of. And just because I can, I'm going to do a little road back here, which should be perfect for... Do we have fire coverage down here? We do not. Okay. So we're going to do fire coverage just next door. We're going to do some healthcare in here as well. Not that we sort of urgently need it, but I think the healthcare is going to be really useful long term. So again, we'll surround that in some roads, surround you guys in some roads. And this is starting to come together, which is great. All of these guys are going to need to move as well. Now, we do have space down here that I still don't think I can build on. So let's once again bring this straight across. Looks a little bit weird up at this end of things, doesn't it? I don't necessarily love all of what's going on here, but sure. That's kind of terrible looking. All right. What if I was to get rid of you and get rid of... I don't know what's going on in here with these roads. They're really not behaving at all. Bring this up, bring this across. And it just does not want to work with me. You know what? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Let's just get this connection here. Let's start moving some buildings down. We're going to move these guys to this spot. We're going to move you to this spot. And these guys are going to need to move out of here completely for a second so that I can line everything up the way I would want to. And my hope with this, as I think I mentioned, is that we're going to be able to get the amphitheater into a lot of this space. That's kind of the goal, is to get it in here. So we're just moving everything right down onto the coastline in hopes of making that happen, in hopes of getting the amphitheater up into this other part of this chunk of the island, basically. So all of these guys live here. The amphitheater is going to be up here. That's the goal. Whether or not that works is to be determined, but that is definitely the goal. Okay, this is actually working quite well. The last thing we need to do is move this pair of charcoal burners, and I'm hoping I can put them sort of over here somewhere. At the very least, I can put one of them over here, which is better than none of them. And the other one is not going to play quite as nicely, although it still kind of works. Now, ideally, those guys aren't really going to exist in this space at all. But for the time being, what that means is I can take out this road. I'm going to pause, take out this warehouse, take out all of these roads, take out this road as well. And this entire road here can go, this road can go, and this road can go. Because the idea is obviously that we're going to be... Ooh, I don't like that. Can I... Can I move you at all? It's not going to behave nicely. Can I just put it back here? Just sort of out of the way. It's, honestly, that's probably the best place for it, actually. That's exactly where it's going to go. We'll bring this down. So this is connected to everything. We'll bring this road sort of through here just because we can. And I think we'll also work to upgrade this road because I think that just makes a bit of sense. We don't have the materials to do it. Never mind. Okay. Well, at the very least, we now have this giant space. And in that giant space, if I get 60 more concrete, we can build this thing, which, it's huge. It's absolutely enormous. And, I don't know how I'm going to put a bunch of buildings around it, but it's going to live right there. Oh my God. That looks amazing. It already looks amazing, and it's just a blueprint. Or, well, yeah, we'll call it a blueprint. Let's put some roads around it. Let's do a nice big sort of perimeter road around it here, because obviously we're detailing around this thing. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to find out together is what we're going to do. We'll get some connections in the corners, because I think that's going to look very cool. Obviously, all of this is going to have to be upgraded to concrete and eventually marble, because that is the thing that we are still working towards. It's going to connect to here, because of course it will. It's going to connect to, I want to say down here as well. I might bring that road through. I think right there is fine, actually. It's going to sort of go straight out this way. And I guess it can sort of connect out to this space as well. I don't think it's the end of the world if it sort of connects out towards a little bit of production. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this. That thing's huge. I really have no idea what I'm going to do, like I said, in terms of decorations, but it's going to look great. It's going to look great. Oh, I should probably also mention I built 4 of these ships instead of just 3, so I'm going to send them down here and see if that's going to be enough to set up a little bit more of a blockade down here. I have my doubts, but I'm curious and slightly hopeful that it's going to do some good for us. If not, then at the very least what I could do is move this blockade down to here, between here and the edge of the map, because that will stop them. In fact, I might just do that anyway, because I think that's going to be a really smart thing to do. Just getting these guys, grab all of you and grab you, and then just put them between this island and the bottom of the map, or the edge of the map rather. So basically, I don't know where the edge of the map happens to be. Is it like here? I've got no idea. Can I just send them like into the ocean? Oh, I can't. Oh, that's going to confuse things a little bit. I'm kind of at the edge of the map here. Is this feels cheeky, but I'm gonna do this basically and hope for the best. I really don't know where the edge of the map is. I think it's like, feels like it's right here. Let's try this instead, just so that a bit of a better angle. And hopefully that stops the ships from getting past, right? Oh, the edge of the map's like here. Okay, yeah, that should work, I think. I really have no idea. This feels like, this does feel like cheating. Because I feel like it could go around the outside here and potentially just do that, you know? But we'll see what happens. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm just trying to, you know, box him in and just keep him in his own little territory. That's quite fun. Okay, so these boats have made it down here, and we can kind of more easily see where the edge of the map happens to be this time. So what I'm going to try and do is just set them up like this. And I genuinely think that might work. I really do. I think these guys are big enough. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I love that. So he does have some boats, or he has a boat just roaming around back here. But if my blockade does what it's supposed to do, and he doesn't just go outside the map, then in theory, I have just stopped all raider attacks in Latium. which is great. I will absolutely take credit for that. Although I'll admit, I've done it kind of the lazy way. I've decided to just not fight the guy and instead just, you know, block him into a corner of the map, which feels, I don't want to say cruel and unusual, but it feels like something I would do in a game of Civilization. It feels like the type of thing where, you know, you'd be playing with a couple of friends and you're like, oh, we're totally not going to go to war. And then you know, specifically build on every single tile that they wanted. It's a similar vibe is what I'm getting at. It's a very, very similar vibe, which is fine. I'm not really that concerned about upsetting the raiders on this map. I think we're probably at the point where if he sends out any ships to attack me, I can kind of deal with it, if I'm completely honest. So I'm not all that worried. I think we'll be completely fine. Let's go ahead and just get this last little bit of road over here upgraded to concrete. I decided to do the roads first because I figure, I'll be honest, I was gonna say, and maybe I did, this episode's going on even longer than I really wanted it to. I was gonna say that we're gonna build this thing in the next episode, but given that all it needs is 60 bits of concrete, it's really not going to take that long to get 60 bits of concrete for this guy. So I figure we might as well just get the 60 bits of concrete and build this thing. Also curious to see, oh, you can build houses right next to it and kind of perfect. Oh, that's so good. All right, these guys are definitely just getting some. They're definitely just getting the dirt roads for now. We're not gonna try and go too crazy with that. On this side, I want to do the same thing. I want to get some houses right there. And I would like to get some houses right about there as well. Again, we'll do the dirt roads. I'm not too concerned about these guys having the concrete right now. So we'll do this so that they're all connected. That'll be a nice bump to the population as well, which is fantastic news. I'm so excited for this thing. I really, really am so excited for this thing. Can I do houses on this side? No. So this side's not going to line up quite as nicely, which is all right. Let's do 4 right there. We'll do similar on this side. So we'll get a nice kind of double road in there, which I can work with. Let's do this and bring you sort of straight through to about there, which again gives us a nice little bit of population over on that side of things. And we'll eventually have houses over there as well. But for now, this looks pretty cool. I do think we're going to want to get some fire coverage in here because a lot of these guys don't have any. So we'll go for, that's 54 buildings right there. That's 35 buildings right there. That is 30 buildings right there. Can I get, I guess I don't want to build it there because it doesn't look great, but I think the 54 buildings is probably worth it just to make sure that we're nice and safe in this new area. We could also do a little bit of policing in here just to make sure that everyone's nice and happy in this new area. We could do it up here. We could do it down here. I don't know if it really matters where I put this thing. I'm just going to put it right about there. Should keep them pretty happy as well, which is fantastic. Fire safety, not great. Island health, not great. It'll get there. It's going to take a minute, but it'll get there. Ben escorts an equestrian woman and her teenage daughter into your praetorium. With barely contained rage, the matron complains that her willful daughter has refused her betrothal to an elderly, wealthy senator. The girl insists on destroying our family for the love of some boy. Ben adds some context. The father is deceased, therefore the young woman is free from the authority of the whatever. Legally, you may assume that role. So if we make her marry the senator, we get prestige and lose happiness. If we allow her to marry her lover, we lose prestige but get happiness. And, I'm gonna allow her to marry her lover. That seems like the smart thing to do. Make people happy, basically. We're doing fine in terms of island prestige. Happiness, we were lacking a little bit. Oh, it would appear that we do have the 60 concrete needed to build this thing. Let's get it done. That I mean, it's just the construction site, admittedly. It needs more. It needs a bit more work. But that looks very cool, and I'm so excited for this thing. It looks really good from like a construction point of view. I don't know what it needs for the next phase. Oh my god. Right. Yes, okay. Getting the timber will be easy. The ropes will be easy. I mean, all of it's easy, to be fair. Let's start that construction, because realistically, we have the workers, right? We do. We have the workers. We have that all available. I don't know what the different phases of this thing are going to be. I have just noticed that it's going to sort of look like the Colosseum. You can kind of see it in the background there. This is, yeah. Kind of excited about this. We should have people running back and forth to get the different materials. Oh, this is going to be so good. This is going to be so cool looking when it's done. It really is. I'm actually very excited about this thing. Very, very excited about this thing. And so I suppose that's as good a place to leave it for today as any. Man, I'm really excited for this. This might be, I asked a couple of episodes ago, what sort of the end goal was going to be in this particular series. I don't want to say that when this thing's built, we're done, but this might be sort of like getting there. I don't know how interested I am in going and invading all of the other islands, because ultimately what I would probably do, and this is just from the point of view of someone, this is what I do in other games with sort of a similar concept. I'm just going to build the biggest army that I can, and instead of employing tactics, I'm just going to overwhelm them with numbers. That's kind of what I've been doing with the ships, right? We have this just huge armada of ships that surrounded the raiders, and that's how I'm keeping them at bay. So I don't think there would be, I mean, there might be. We haven't done anything with ground soldiers yet, like we've talked about, but there's a possibility we go invade someone's island just to do it. But I don't know if like a full sort of domination type victory is something I'm aiming for, because it just doesn't, I want to take out the raiders. I don't really care about the other governors. I want to build this thing. I have some ideas in mind, basically, is what I'm getting at. So we have a little ways to go. To be completely honest with you, I think at this point we're about 20 hours into this campaign. I don't think the videos total up to that, but it tells me every time I load it up, it's like, hey, you've got like 20 hours in this. So we're probably around 20 hours at this point. But yeah, that's going to do us for today. I'm yapping a little bit too much. That is going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.